Lena was ecstatic. She had finally received the promotion she had been working towards for months. To celebrate, she decided to paint the town red with her friends, Emily and Chris.
Let's make this a night to remember.
The night started like any other. They went from one brightly lit bar to another, laughing, dancing, and reminiscing about old times.
Let's find someplace new, someplace different.
Wandering through the maze of streets, they stumbled upon a secluded alley. At the end of the alley, a neon sign flickered to life, bathing the area in an eerie purple glow. The sign read, "The Night Shift," in sleek, stylized letters.
Well, this is different.
Little did they know their search for a unique experience was about to take a sinister turn. As they moved closer, the music spilled out onto the street. Pushing open the heavy steel-plated door, they were enveloped by a darkness that seemed to cling to them like a shroud. Once their eyes adjusted to the dim lighting, they found themselves in a spacious club, unlike any they had ever seen. The walls were painted black, adorned with murals of strange, otherworldly creatures. The dance floor was surprisingly vacant, with only a handful of people scattered around.
This is different.
Chris, usually the adventurous one, just nodded, his eyes darting around. Lena, feeling a growing sense of dread, wished they had just gone home. The music, while catchy, had an unsettling undertone to it. Lena felt a strange pressure in her chest, a sense of being watched. They made their way to the bar, a sleek black counter that seemed to absorb the dim light. The bartender, a tall, gaunt figure with skin as pale as bone, watched their approach with unsettling intensity.
What can I get you?
His smile, which didn't reach his eyes, revealed a set of teeth that were just a little too sharp. Lena ordered a margarita, hoping the familiar drink would calm her nerves. As the bartender turned to prepare their drinks, Lena noticed something peculiar about the other patrons. The bartender returned, placing their drinks before them with a soft thud. The margarita, usually her favorite, tasted strangely bitter.
Something wrong?
The bartender asked, his voice a low purr that sent shivers down her spine. Lena, no, everything's fine. Just not that thirsty, I guess. The music, which had been almost hypnotic before, now seemed to grate on her nerves. She could feel her heart pounding in her chest.
You sure? You look a little on edge.
Lena just wanted to leave. She looked at Emily and Chris, their faces mirroring her own fear. Lena, let's go. I don't like it here. This place with its strange patrons and unsettling atmosphere had suddenly become unbearable. They stood up, their movements stiff and awkward. As they turned to leave, they found their way blocked by two figures. They were tall and imposing, their faces hidden in the shadows of their hoods.
Leaving so soon?
A voice hissed from beneath one of the hoods. Fear, cold and paralyzing, gripped Lena's heart. They tried to push past the figures, but they were met with an impenetrable wall of muscle. The other patrons, their faces contorted in grotesque smiles, had stopped dancing and were now watching them. Lena felt a cold sweat break out on her skin as she realized the terrible truth. They were trapped. The figures moved closer, their shadows engulfing them. The music reached a deafening crescendo, the lights pulsing in sync with the frantic beating of her heart.
Don't worry, it'll all be over soon. You're in for a real treat.
As the figures closed in, their true faces revealed in the flickering lights, Lena understood. These weren't people. They were monsters, creatures of the night. The night shift wasn't just a club, it was a feeding ground. Lena screamed, a primal scream of terror that was swallowed by the deafening music. The last thing she saw before the darkness consumed her was the bartender's smile, a grotesque, triumphant grin that promised nothing but pain and oblivion.